Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday morning. How is everyone doing today? Hope everyone has a fantastic day. Let's just get that out of the way. NVDA earnings after the close, about a 9.5% move implied, based off implied volatility. So, nearly a 10% move, and it's $128 stock. So, you could see a pretty big pop or drop, and that will affect things. Let's see. Good morning, Sterling. Good morning, Patrick. Yeah, we had the MBA mortgage information out today. We'll take a look at that in a second. With rates dropping, slight uptick in mortgage applications from prior, but nothing special. I mean, because stuff is still way too expensive. Stuff is way too expensive. So, yeah, you're still got some buyers who, hey, mortgage rates dropped. Maybe they waited for a little bit on the sidelines, try to lock in something, but not the majority of people. What else do we have going on here? The typical down payment on a record 67,500. Yep. Yeah, and a lot of people can't afford that either. Gold's retreating. We will take a look. Has not triggered the potential double top yet. Good morning, Mark. Good morning, Jacob. Good morning, Royal Palms. Grand rising to you, Christoph. All right, thank you for tuning in. I mean, not much has changed since yesterday. Not much has changed. And we got the mortgage stuff out of the way. What else we have? Well, if you're trading crude, you care about 10:30 Eastern with the crude numbers. Other than that, there is nothing until NVIDIA releases earnings. So we'll keep an eye on that. There's an interesting potential setup. Now remember, it's not just NVIDIA, because then we go into GDP, jobless claims tomorrow, and then we go into PCE on Friday, and the final numbers for consumer expectations and inflation on Friday. So far, just a very quiet, mixed market this morning. Oil pulling back with the crude pullback, but it's starting to bottom a bit. In terms of, you got basic materials with gold being down, you got energy. What else? So those are the two major. You just have consumer defensive up 4 basis points. So pretty much very flat, though, to slightly down for commodities. Fed watch. Let me just refresh this once more. Hopefully it speeds it up. Well, we're waiting for that. Fear and greed, neutral. Upper end of neutral. Schiller PE 36.28. And let's see where this sits. Come on, let's get going. Fed watch. Well, I know it dropped a bit. 65% now down. It was about, what, was 72 yesterday for a single cut, down to 65. And then you now still have, it's back to the double cut in November. And then one more cut in December. So it's just flip-flopping around. We also have, well, there's your NVIDIA stuff. I'll take a look at the 10-2s with the contract roll, at least from the futures. With contract roll of the 2s in September to the September contract, the inversion is back above 0. Now, that's partially based off the contract roll, because the way things were priced in September versus August. However, let's see if that holds. Again, NVIDIA, also you have CrowdStrike and Salesforce after the close today, but NVIDIA, since such the big mega cap, and drives other stuff like the outlook on AI, that's going to be the important one. Tomorrow you have Best Buy, Dollar General in the morning. So keep that in mind too. Let's see who else is here. Where did I leave off? Good morning, Royal Palms. I said that already. You got 2 this morning, Royal Palms. Anissa, good morning. Are we feeling the joy? We're feeling the happy, happy joy. All right, so still sideways correction. So just generally, when you see a pattern like this, stair-stepping higher, more often than not, leads to a breakout, a consolidation, and then a break higher. However, it's all going to depend on NVIDIA. It's all going to depend on NVIDIA. So that's where that sits right now. And then the follow through, because we have the market's still poised for bullish. We still have daily cycles heading down, but trying to consolidate, and weekly cycles still heading up. So probably if I had to bet, if somebody was forcing me to bet, I'd have to say, hey, you have to bet on higher, even though I think NVIDIA could disappoint in some way. So that's a contradictory statement. We still have a potential double top. So I really doubt we're going to get, with no news coming out, 55.82 would be the trigger point for that. Other than that, if it pops back up, it would triple top, which also slightly favors a continuation move. Intraday, the key level on a closing basis, if it even pulls back, is 56.15. But major support before that is 56.26. Targets see upside about 56.60, and then the high area. There's pretty significant resistance between 56.60 and 56.62. Then you have 56.69, then 56.75. And overall, if the market pops up huge over the next couple days, the critical level is this 56.86 to invalidate this potential double, which is getting very on the mini one is getting major, but that would invalidate it, and it's getting very extended to the right-hand side. NASDAQ's interesting. What am I keeping an eye on in the NASDAQ? Well, not the weekly chart. I'm keeping an eye on yesterday's high. Why? If we follow through. Now, you can see we've already tested that area, but it's really, we got daily cycles to the bottom. This is fully going to depend on NVIDIA. Why am I keeping an eye? I want to see if we close above that intraday, because that would technically be a %B buy. We'd have to close above that at the end of the day, I should say. And we've already tested that price level. So yesterday's high is very, very key. Yes, and this, because of this long wick, is not a little double top. Just watch yesterday's high, though, in the NASDAQ. That is super important. Other than that, the other key level I'm watching is yesterday's low. And if we still have the probabilities that say NASDAQ should pop higher just because it's closed above the 62.5 and has not even hit that 75 yet. And you still have that 87.5 magnet. So we could still pop higher with NVIDIA earnings. Lots of things are showing to potentially higher moves, but they're not guaranteed. So that's why you always have to manage your risk, especially with something like a 10% implied move. Nearly 10% implied move in NVIDIA is huge, given the market cap structure. On a pullback, if it's on a move down, the key areas I'll be watching are about, this is not intraday. Intraday, I'm watching yesterday's low. But if we do gap down, about 19,170, and then major, if something happens, is not 18,700. The Dow, by the way, this is going to be a little quicker live stream. 41,350 is your key resistance. I'll be watching the break above. If we do, then I'm watching to retest Monday's high area, which is very significant. Very significant around Monday's key high. All right. Boy. Okay. Sorry, I'm getting pinged with some stuff. Russell, key support about 2182. Hit that 75 resistance, so that's going to be key support there. Now, very strong resistance, 2227. Good morning, McRangers. Coco's bearish on NVIDIA earnings. Thank you for tuning in, Coco. VIX is below 16. Below 16, which we're actually decreasing volatility going into some key numbers. Sort of interesting. The DAX. Remember, we paused yesterday at the 87.5. Now it's marching higher. We hit the next target area, this 18,863. Final target area is 19. And then we'll have to look for the potential breakout plays. Everything's still getting priced to perfection, though. Yield tried to rally a bit yesterday. Rotation zone rotating down. Still holding this very strong 3.77 base. The 10-2s. Here's your gap back above zero. Gap back above zero. So, going to keep a close eye today on where this settles. Dollar index. Remember I said where this could be a percent beat buy if it remains and closes above the high. So I was watching yesterday's high, and now I'm watching for the close. Now that's into the rotation zone. This is only a minor bottoming pattern just now. But it is with the divergence and a potential percent beat buy, at least a pop into the rotation zone. Crude, lots of volatility in crude. Crude coming down between the retracements of the 50 and 62.5 and then popping back up. The key level on crude is 73.76 at this point on a closing basis, especially with the EIA numbers coming out. And daily cycles back at the top. Gold pulling back again into the rotation zone. We've had a lot of rotations back up. And it was down a lot more earlier, only down 50 basis points at this time. But the potential double is still in play. The potential double top would need a close below 2005.06.04 and would also possibly be out of the way of the rotation zone. So that's a great trailing stop level. Yen. Watching to see if we pop above yesterday's high. Holding the 75% harmonic. That's really the only thing I'm looking so far at the yen. Euro with the dollar potentially bottoming, at least in the short term. Breakdown of below very key support into the rotation zone, but no bounce set up just yet. Bitcoin and Ethereum. Guys, I have to go deal with something. Bitcoin and Ethereum, I'm going to have to cut this short. Sorry about that today. Still watching for the pullbacks in the cryptos. NVDA, very key resistance is 130.18 on the gap up, depending. I mean, this is a $130 stock nearly, so you're looking at a potential $13 move. So you're looking around, if it pops the upside, potentially retesting the highs, and to the downside, you're looking around 115 to 50% prior harmonic. So those are the two key levels I'm watching. Again, based off the probabilities, it should still take out the 87.5. So it could do that on an earnings beat and pop above there. All right, sorry for having to cut this one short today. I will have to talk to everyone tomorrow. Bye for now.